I'm going to be unboxing the Antec TrueQuiet 120mm case fan. I'm going to be unboxing it and then also showing you guys how to install it in the case itself. I have a very slim form factor Raven RVZ01 Silverstone case. And it has 3 spots for case fans. I'm currently using 2 because they were included with the case itself, but I've been noticing that my temperatures have been getting a little high in the case itself. So I'm going to install this, hopefully bring the temperatures down a little bit. And the interesting thing about the RVZ01 gaming case is that what it relies upon to cool down your case is positive air pressure on the inside of the case. So all 3 of the case fans are meant to be intake fans. They intake the air and then they push all of the hot air out of the sides of the case. So I'm going to be installing this as an intake, and then I'll unbox this and show you guys the process. Thanks. That doesn't make any sense. I shouldn't say thanks. Okay, so we have the Antec fan right here. Antec, not Antec. I'm just going to... It's actually it's not very simple. Look at that. They include little metal fasteners in there that you can't just pop this thing open, which I guess is good. I guess, yeah, you just kind of have to pull them and it breaks the plastic off. Come on. There we go. All right, so that wasn't terribly hard. So it's stuck to the front too. Great. Okay. So the entire, yeah, all right. So just the description of the fan itself: uniquely designed fan blades to reduce turbulence, 2-speed switch, cool effectiveness, toolless installation, silicone grommets eliminate metal-to-metal contact, reducing vibration, which is probably how they call it a TrueQuiet. Okay, so then we have installation instructions, and then the fan itself. These are the little things that you pull through the case fan in order to keep it secured. Then you have the fan itself right here. Let's see, this wire right here. Alright, so that's a 3-pin. Oh, okay, so it's an adapter. So you have the 3-pin here. You can also get another case fan out of it, and then also you can connect it via the Molex power. And then here's the little switch for the 2-speed optimization thing for cooling effectiveness or whatever they said. And here's the actual 3-pin port. So, yep, you got the little rubber things right here. I don't know if you can hear that very well, but it's pretty quiet. And then you have the fan right here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my PC, and then we're going to go ahead and install this. Okay, so for this case fan installation, what we have here to get started are the case fan itself. We have an anti-static wrist strap right here. We're going to be handling some of the components inside because you have to remove the graphics card and a few other things in order to even get to the back of the case fan. We also have a couple magnetic screwdrivers to start. So we're going to open up the case and I'll show you the process as we install this Antec TrueQuiet. Okay, first step is unscrewing the side panel on the case itself. Alright, got that unscrewed. Pull it off. And as you can see right here is where this side panel fan is connected to the case fan splitter. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that out. So that's set off to the side. So what we have here now is we have this graphics card assembly has to be taken out completely in order to reach the back panel to install this fan. So what we're going to have to do is uninstall all of the SATA connectors here, here, and here. Unscrew this, and this. And then pop the PCI Express card out of the motherboard in order to even access that back fan. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, now that we've got all of those unscrewed, we just need to pull gently to get the graphics card riser to pull out of the motherboard. There we go, she's out. So let's go ahead and pull this out a little bit. And at this point, we have the option of unplugging the graphics card, or we could keep it plugged in and just put it off to the side, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do. So as you can see, right there is where the case fan is going to get installed. So we have this baby right here. So as I suspected, it's actually quite a bit thicker than the other ones, and I'm not quite sure if it's gonna fit with the graphics card in there. So let me test that sizing. So many cables to manage. Let me get this to sit. All right. Yeah, so it actually does have a little bit of clearance. But what I think I'm gonna go ahead and do is, since you can see this is a smaller graphics card, it's a 270 R9 270X, but it's the Mini-ITX version, so it's shortened quite a bit. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is uninstall this fan over here, move it to right here, and then take this chunky little thing and move it back over here. All right, so to do that, I'm actually gonna have to unplug the graphics card, because I'm gonna have to turn the case over. Let me show you guys. Right there, you can see I have to unscrew this fan. So, gonna take care of those screws now. Okay, so we got that uninstalled. I'm not going to unplug it. I'm just going to move it over to the other side and reinstall it right there. Just want to guarantee, blow the dust off a little bit, because even with the magnetic fan filters, you can, you might be able to see there's a little bit of dust on the fan itself. But what I want to go ahead and do is make sure that this is an intake fan, because as I mentioned earlier, these cases thrive on having positive pressure. And I don't see a way to distinguish whether or not this is an intake or an outtake. I'm sure there's a way, I can't find it. But I didn't switch it around when I got it, so I assume it's still an intake, so I'm just gonna put it back in. All right. Just gonna have to set it right there. Let me get the first screw. Okay, so I got that installed. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this and put that in. I just need to figure out which one's the intake and which way is the outtake. Okay, so now that I have figured out which way is the intake, with the Antec TrueQuiet, what it does, instead of having the screws like this other case fan, what it's included are these little rubber grommet things. And what you're supposed to do is go ahead and slide them through where the screws usually go, pull it through the hole, so it'll go all the way through. Do that for all 4 of them. Okay, and as you can see, the rubber grommets are hanging out right here. We're going to go ahead and install the case fan that way. Alright, so I'm just going to slide it in with as an intake fan for the positive air pressure. Rubber grommet through the opening. And just pull it through. There we go. Okay, so after struggling with trying to get these things through for 10 minutes, I realized that on 2 of the holes where these rubber grommets are supposed to go through, there's like a little lining that was preventing them from going through, so I had to pierce it with a small screwdriver. I've got the other 3 ones pulled through all the way, but I wanted to show you guys pulling through the last one. You just kind of tug on that right there, and it kind of looks or feels like it would snap, but they seem pretty sturdy, and it just requires some tugging and pushing against the case to get it to come out. My hands are kind of slippery for some reason. Alright, so there you go. You can see this part has come through, and what Antec includes in the instructions is that going ahead and snipping them off with a pair of scissors, because probably not going to be reusing them, and you also don't want them to get in the way. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut all 4 of them off. There we go. And fell right in there. Oh, awesome. There we go. Okay, so now we have the power switch, which personally I don't really care too much about. I'm just going to keep it set at high. I didn't really get this for the noise reduction. I got it just, it was a decent price, and I wanted to keep my case a little cooler. So I have both of this case fan and then the front case fan running off a splitter that comes off the motherboard. But with the Silverstone power supply that I got for the case, it does include an extra fan port just coming right out. So I'm going to install that. Or I'm wrong on that one. I am wrong on that one. I don't know why I thought that was... Anyways, so thankfully Antec includes this adapter because I was slightly mistaken there. I don't know what was going on. Alright. What in the world? How do you get this? Aha, there it is. Backwards. There we go. So just gonna take the Molex adapter that Antec includes and put it on the Molex power coming out of the case. Then I'm gonna slide that, the male, female power, and boom. Alright, so now it's just a matter of plugging it in, turning it on, and seeing if it runs. Okay, so I have the computer plugged in. Now I'm going to turn it on and see if it turns on, and then also whether or not it's intake or out exhaust, because I'm pretty sure I put it as an intake. Alright, so you can see it spins up perfectly. Yep, intaking air. This is also intaking air, so they're both intaking. Let's see. I'm going to try the switch to see how it runs. Not a completely noticeable difference, but it's pretty silent, so the TrueQuiet name is pretty good for what it does. So we got that installed. It's blowing some pretty good air. Hopefully that'll help with the system temperatures. They were reaching around 40 degrees, just kind of always. So that's it for the installation of the Antec TrueQuiet. Thanks for watching. Gonna have the subscribe button down over here. I'm gonna be installing this Scythe Big Shuriken CPU cooler next. So stay tuned for that video if you want to see how to install that CPU cooler on this computer. Thanks for watching.